Hello and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a sun hat for a baby. So I'm using 3.5mm crochet hook and 4-ply bamboo yarn. Bamboo is sustainable and it's very soft as well. So we're going to chain 5. And then we're going to join into the first stitch with a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 3, and we're going to work 12 treble crochets, double crochet if you're American, into the center. Join with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and then chain 3 again, and work 2 treble crochets into each stitch all the way around. And at the end of the round, join to the 3rd chain of the starting chain. And for the next row, we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to work 1 treble into the first stitch, followed by 2 trebles into the next stitch. 1 treble, and then 2 trebles into the next stitch. So continue working 1 treble into 1 stitch and then 2 trebles into the next stitch until you get to back to the beginning. And for the next row, chain 3 and work a treble crochet into the first 2 stitches. And then work 2 into the next stitch. So 2 trebles into the next, 1 treble into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 trebles into the next stitch. So continue to work 1, 2 trebles and then 2 trebles into the same stitch all the way round. And for the next row, chain 3, whoops, go slip stitch again, chain 3, and then work a treble into the first 3 stitches. Trouble with bamboo yarn, it's very easy to split. And then work 2 trebles into the next stitch. One treble into the next 3 stitches. And 2 trebles into the next stitch. And continue doing 1 treble into 3 stitches and 2 trebles into the next stitch all the way around, and then just continue in that way. So add a stitch each time. So the next row will be 4 trebles followed by 2 trebles in the next stitch, and just keep doing that until the crown measures the size that corresponds to the age you're making the sun hat for. So now the crown is the right size for the size that I'm making. We're going to just work a round of trebles, straight trebles. So just work a treble into every stitch until you get back, and obviously slip stitch into the chain 3, the third chain. Oh, that bamboo. Now, if you watched my video on how to do the easy cable, you will already know how to do that, and that's the stitch we're going to be using here. But it's going to be slightly different because it will be in the round rather than alternate rows. So we're going to treble into the first 2 trebles, and then we're going to miss the next stitch and work around the front post of the following stitch. And then at the front we're going to go into the stitch we missed and front post treble around it. And then we're going to work a treble into the next 3 stitches. So again, miss the next stitch and front post treble around the following one, and then yarn over, go back to the one you just missed and front post treble around that stitch, and treble into the next 3 stitches. And then miss the next stitch, front post treble around the following one, and then yarn over, go back to the stitch you missed and work a front post treble around it. So yeah, continue working 3 trebles and then a twisted cable into the next 2 stitches. So for the second row, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to work 2 trebles, so treble into each stitch, next 2 stitches. And then where we've got the crossed trebles, we're going to take our hook and go round the front, do a front post around the first one, and then we're going to do a front post treble around the next one. And then we're going to treble into the next 3 stitches, and we're going to go into the first part of the cross treble and do a front post treble around that, and then we're going to go into the second and do a front post treble around that, and 3 trebles, and then front post treble around the first cross treble, and front post treble around the second, and just continue that sequence all the way around. And for the next row, so the last row and this row will be setting the pattern. So we're going to chain 3, work a treble into the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to go into the second stitch in the crossed treble and work a front post treble, and then we're going to go to the back to the first stitch and front post treble. Treble into the next 3 stitches, and then go into the second cross treble and front post treble around it, and then yarn over and go into the previous one and work a front post treble around it. Work a treble into the next 3 stitches, and front post treble around the second cross treble, and then go back to the first and work a front post treble, and just continue that all the way around. So the last row and this row are the pattern, the 2-row repeat. So continue in this stitch until it measures the height of the hat measures what you should be making according to what size you're doing. So now the hat's the right size, we're going to chain 1 and work a row of double crochets or American single crochets into each stitch around the hat, and then finish with a slip stitch into the chain 1 that you've just made at the beginning. And for the next row we're going to chain 1 again, and then we're going to work 4 double crochets, and then we're going to work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Four double crochets, and then 2 into the next stitch. And just continue with that pattern right round to the beginning again. So for the next row we're going to chain 1, and this time we're going to work 5 double crochets and then an increase. So 2 into the next stitch, and then 5 double crochets, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue to increase the stitches between the increases on each round, and we're going to continue until the brim is wide enough, so about 1.5 inches. So if you measure it and it's 1.5 inches, or however big you want the brim to be, you may want a bigger brim. So on the next row you'll be double crocheting 6 stitches and then an increase into the next one, and the row after it'll be 7 and then 8 and so on.